Great to see so many of you here with us today. Please do pop in the chat where you are joining us from and what you studied at your undergraduate. That would be really interesting for us to know. My name is Ros Cresswell. I'm the Student Recruitment and Marketing Manager in the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science at Queen Mary University of London. And I'm really pleased to be joined today by Professor Tina Peterson, who is a new professor within the school and the Programme Director for the MSc AI Conversion Programme. So let me move my slides along. So today's webinar, we will start with doing introductions, which we've done. I've introduced myself. I'll let Tina introduce herself when she starts her slides. I'm going to give you a few quick key dates for your diary, things that you should take note of in terms of applying for the programme, deposit deadlines and CAS deadlines as well. And then I'll hand over to the main event, which is Tina, and she'll deliver an in-depth talk about the new MSc Artificial Intelligence Conversion Programme. We'll finally end with a Q&A. So as you think of questions, please do pop them in the Q&A portion of the Teams. So it should be at the top of your screen. It says Q&A, and then we'll get round to them at the end of the session, just so that we're able to finish our talk, and then you can get all the information and then ask your questions at the end. I just wanted to draw your attention to our recent QS World University rankings by subject. So we've been ranked 84th in the world and 9th in the UK for computer science and information systems, and we're top 100 in the world and 7th in the UK for data science and artificial intelligence. These rankings underpin our excellence in research and teaching, and it's definitely worth taking note of where we stand in the world. I also want to draw your attention to a new facility which is opening in January 2026, which is super exciting. So if you were to join us, you would actually be one of the first cohorts to be in this new facility. It's been undergoing a £20 million refurbishment, and it's essentially redesigning a space and adding 2 new floors to an existing building, which has modernised the building completely. So we've gutted it. It's going to be a fresh new facility. And we've basically redesigned the teaching labs, incorporated new collaboration spaces, providing them for students with more areas for group work and other collaborative activities. So this is really great news, and it's only open to students from the school as well. So it's more of an exclusive environment for the students in the School of Electronic Engineering and Computer Science. Key dates for your diary. Our deadline for postgraduate overseas applications is on Monday, the 15th of December. So this means that anyone who is overseas, fee-paying student, needs to make sure that your application is in by the 15th of December. And then for home students, the deadline is the 5th of January. The deadline for postgraduate applicants to provide all the documents to meet the outstanding offer conditions, so any conditions of your offer, you need to provide those by the 5th of January latest. And then the latest CAS deadline for students applying for overseas visas is the 12th of January. We cannot normally issue a CAS to anyone applying after this date, so you really need to make sure that you keep these dates in your diary. And then enrolment week is on the 12th of January. So we would be expecting you to enroll, and you'll get loads of information that week. And then teaching starts on the 19th of January. The latest arrival is the 2nd of February, but we would really recommend that you are arriving by the 19th for the start of teaching, because otherwise you run the risk of missing out on key activities at the start of your studies. Any applicant who is not in the European Economic Area or a national of Australia, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland or the United States needs to apply or may require an academic technology approval scheme, which is called an ATAS, security certificate. If you require an ATAS, you will need to obtain your ATAS certificate before requesting a CAS. So you need to make sure you do that before those key deadlines for the CAS deadline. We cannot and will not issue a CAS until your ATAS certificate has been obtained. So you need to make sure that you're doing this sooner rather than later. Obviously, because it's a January start, that we've also have our Christmas closure period. So you really need to make sure that you're doing things early, which is why we set that deadline of 15th of December for your overseas applications. And just in case you didn't know, a CAS or confirmation of acceptance for studies is a unique reference number issued by the UK university, our university, to international students who have accepted an unconditional offer. It's an electronic document and it's a key requirement for applying for a UK student visa, as it confirms that we are your sponsor for the duration of your studies. So it's really important that you get all these things done. So that is the boring bits over. If you do need to get in touch with us, I'll pop these up at the end of the webinar as well. But for non-academic related questions, so questions about the things I've just talked about, anything to do with your application, those kind of things, please contact us at qmurl.ac.uk/contact. And then for any academic related questions, then please contact Tina directly. She's very happy to take any questions personally. And then you can follow us on Instagram, see what we're doing, see what our students are up to. And then if you do want to speak to a current student, they wouldn't be studying this programme as it's a new programme for January, but you can speak to a student who is currently studying within our school. You can do that at qmurl.ac.uk/unibuddy. I will share all of these contacts in the chat. But without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Tina, who's going to have all the information that you want to know about the programme. Over to you, Tina. You're on mute.
Sorry, I was trying to give Roz a moment and not block my own background noise. I knew I was going to forget to unmute my mic. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Give me just a moment to, sorry, I just need to get out of my PowerPoint. Sorry, just a moment. All right, for some reason, I'm unable to get out of my PowerPoint and share it. Sorry, everyone, just give me one moment.
In the meantime, hi, Linda. So nice to see you from Washington, DC. Fantastic. And you studied your undergraduate degree in sociology. So it's really cool. That's a really interesting background to come from to study AI. And I'm sure Tina's going to now talk a bit more about how people from non-AI backgrounds are going to move into this. So over to you, Tina.
Yes, sorry about that technical issue pause. Roz, can you see my slides? All good?
Yeah, all good.
All right, great. Thank you everyone for sharing your valuable time with us today. I hope to make it a useful moment in your day, and I hope you come away from this with some good information. My name is Tina Peterson. I am the program director of the new MSc in Artificial Intelligence Conversion Program, and I'm also senior lecturer of AI and ethics here at Queen Mary. I recently joined Queen Mary. I came from the University of Texas at Austin, and I'm really excited to be starting up this brand new program here in London. I want to start by sharing a quote that I heard on a BBC broadcast yesterday. The former CEO of IBM said, "AI will not replace humans, but those who use AI will replace those who don't." And I thought this was a really good glimpse into the future that provides us perhaps with a little bit of guidance from someone who is very smart, probably knows what's going on in the tech world, because I think a lot of us are feeling a bit anxious and uncertain regarding what the future brings. We're hearing a lot about AI. It's transforming so many different workplaces and entire sectors of our economy. And we're all doing our best to make ourselves as future-proof as possible. So I wanted to start by sharing that quote with you from a wise woman. This is a program overview. I'm then going to go into the individual modules, tell you a little bit about those components of the program, and then I'm going to talk about the support available to students, the faculty briefly, and then I'm going to answer the question, why Queen Mary and why London? Why should you come here to study this? And then I will open it up for questions. So this MSc program is specifically for people who do not have a computer science background. We really don't even expect you to have a STEM background. If you're unfamiliar with the acronym, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and maths. We do not expect you to have any background in that in order to begin this program. We really start with the absolute basics. We cover Python programming, statistics, deep learning, and above all, ethical AI. That's my personal favorite because I'm a lecturer in ethics, to help you build a strong technical foundation. And it does not matter what your background is in. You can start with the very basics in this program. We also help you gain practical skills using the same AI tools that are being used in the industry right now. And after this program, you will be prepared to innovate as AI specialists in whatever field you choose to go on to. You also have the option, of course, to go into a more technical field. This is sort of a pivot point. If you want to, say, pivot into computer science, this is a good way to take the first step into that. Our assessment consists of 7 modules. They're broken up into 4 in the first semester, 3 in the second semester, and then a final project. So 67% of the assessment is these compulsory modules, and then the final 1/3 is your final research project. And in this final research project, you will undertake a large project where you will apply all the AI skills and knowledge that you've learned to a topic that you choose. And then you will produce a portfolio of your work that can be shared with prospective employers. So this is really a showcase of what you have done in the program. Now I'll go into the individual semesters and the modules. In your first semester, you will start with the basics of Python programming. You'll learn about the statistical foundations of AI, which if you've done any reading about AI yet, you know a lot of it is based in probabilities, so it's important to understand that. You'll begin to learn principles of machine learning. And of course, the ethics class, which has the longest title in the entire module. Don't let that scare you. It really is, it's just an ethics and law class. Semester 2, you will dig deeper into applications of AI. You will start learning about more complex applications such as deep learning and neural networks. You will examine risk and decision making in data science and AI. And then in your third semester, which would be the following fall, like fall as in 1 year from now, is the final project. Now I'll go into the individual modules. In Python, you will learn the basics of Python syntax and data structures. Again, starting with the absolute basics. So we will not assume any background knowledge. We will really start with the basics. You will learn to write scripts to manipulate data and analyze data, which are really essential skills. They're basically building blocks for AI. And then you're going to implement some basic algorithms. You're going to build simple, intelligent systems. So as you can see, you start building things and seeing how they work really from the very first semester. And we believe in hands-on practical learning. You'll do labs, you'll do exercises so that you will take what you learn and start applying those skills immediately. In statistical foundations, this is the second one that you'll do in semester 1. You will gain skills in managing and visualizing data to extract meaningful insights from that data. You will start to apply statistical methods to solve problems. You'll start using statistics to assess the performance of an AI model and make decisions based on the data that went into it. And then, of course, you'll combine the theory you're learning with exercises to, again, apply what you're learning to solve real-world problems as you go. Then principles of machine learning. This is one of my favorite subjects. Machine learning is absolutely fascinating. You'll look at supervised and unsupervised learning methods, which are really fundamental because these are the two main types of machine learning. You'll start to explore basic models such as decision trees and clustering. You'll start to train models on data sets and then evaluate how well they perform using metrics and also doing pre-processing. And the way you'll do all of this, you will come to lectures, you'll do labs, and you'll also do projects to, again, apply the skills as you're learning them. And the fourth class that you'll take in semester 1 is my favorite. I'm biased because I co-teach this one with my colleague Mahesha. I think the ethics of AI are not only fascinating, but incredibly important. Basically, we look at the legal frameworks. We look at data protection, which is especially important in the UK and the EU. Intellectual property, algorithmic accountability. How do we hold the people who make algorithms accountable? How can we be accountable as people who make them and apply them in the world? How can we create AI systems that are aligned with our own values as a society? How can we assess risks such as bias and discrimination and privacy concerns, given all the data that we'll be working with? And then, of course, critical understanding and responsibility. It's key to take responsibility for the AI that we put into the world and make sure that it's fair. Now we move on to semester 2. So this would be, semester 1 was approximately, let's say, January 2026 through about April, and then semester 2 would start in May. Applications of AI, you'll be looking at how AI is transforming various sectors of the economy. You'll be learning to design AI solutions, considering the feasibility of that solution. Do you have the data to make it work? Can you scale it? What are the ethical concerns with that particular solution? How do you evaluate the effectiveness of these things that you're implementing? And what I consider most important, how do you communicate with the stakeholders, that is, people who are affected by those AI solutions? And of course, all of this is leading to career advancement opportunities, right? As you start to study applications of AI, you will be learning, you'll be gaining skills that will help you gain a leg up in industries and to progress along a chosen career path. Then we have deep learning and neural networks. These are more sophisticated concepts in AI. I'm not going to pretend that I know what most of the things on this slide mean, because like you, this is a good opportunity for me to sort of tell you a little bit more about myself. I am a person with a non-STEM background, so I could not teach this class that you're looking at right now. I couldn't even tell you what TensorFlow is, but if I took this module, I would be able to tell you what it is. So I am not a technical person. This is a technical class, but you don't take it until semester 2. So by the time you encounter it, you're ready for it. Risk and decision making. This is also a very important class from an ethical perspective. This is looking at the challenges of risk assessment and what happens when we use AI to make predictions and to inform our decisions, especially when those decisions concern public health, medicine, law, government policy, transport safety, which is a big application, a potential application of AI, and protection of consumers. In this class, you'll also look at the limitations of AI. What can it do? What can it not do? What is it wise to use AI for versus what is it maybe unwise to use AI for? And then, of course, you'll look at practical methods and tools. This is throughout all the modules to make sure that you are applying what you're learning to really to understand how to use these tools in real life. And this is specifically for decision making, risk assessment and decision making. Then semester 3, so this would be 1 year from now, so next fall, you will be doing a final project. So in this project, you get to choose a topic that you want to focus on, And some of you may be fresh out of uni. You may have just finished your bachelor's degree and you have certain credentials that come with that. You might want to choose a project in that field that your credentials point to, and go that way. Some of you may be mid-career. You may be a working professional already. You probably have some idea of how AI could be used in your particular job. So you might bring an idea to this program. You already know what you're going to do for your final project. So you will have, over the course of this final project, you'll have weekly meetings. You'll participate in taught sessions to make sure that you have continuous support through your planning, design, and implementation. And then, of course, we help you make a really effective presentation of your results. There are opportunities to collaborate with external partners and work on real-world problems. And then, of course, the module culminates in a portfolio. You will make a presentation, you'll create a professional portfolio that will really be a showcase of all of the AI tools and techniques that you've mastered, so that this is basically your evidence that you have upskilled yourself for the 21st century. Now, some of you may be wondering, how will I keep up with all of this? How on earth will I learn about neural networks and deep learning, given that I don't have a background in computer science? This is the first time learning that there even is something called a neural network. This program is designed to be a conversion program. So we expect students not to have a technical background, and we provide academic support throughout. You will have teaching fellows who will help you build your understandings of these really early mathematical and programming concepts so that you don't get left behind. Basically, there's an extensive support, especially at the beginning of the program, to make sure that you are understanding these key concepts before you move on and build more knowledge on top of them. So really, we want you to develop your skills progressively and do practical exercises throughout to make sure that you are not just learning things, you're remembering them and applying them. And then, of course, there will be abundant guidance for the portfolio work. These are just a few of our faculty. You see I'm over there on the right. Isn't it funny how people's profile photos never look like they do in person? But that's me. This is Diana, Mahesha, Jesus, and Nikesh. They are all other faculty on the program, and they are all very effective instructors. They use lectures and seminars, practical labs, and of course, I supervise the final project to make sure that your AI education is as comprehensive as possible. Now, career prospects. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are wondering, what will I get out of my investment if I decide to enroll in this program? That's an excellent question. You should ask that of any postgraduate program that you're considering enrolling in. This program gives you the opportunity to develop knowledge in AI fundamentals and apply AI to projects that you choose. You will be prepared to pursue positions in your field that require AI skills, or you may want to pivot and do further study in AI so that you can pursue more technical roles in the future. To see what may be possible for you after you gain these skills, I encourage you to try this experiment. Go to your preferred jobs website, whatever you usually search for jobs on. Usually the way most of these work right now is they have a profile, right, where you add in credentials and skills. Try adding AI or machine learning or Python to the skills in your profile and see how that changes your results. And basically what it's going to do is show you the jobs in your field that require or at least prefer these additional AI skills. So I encourage you to do that as a very sort of real world way of seeing what career prospects are available. Why should you come to Queen Mary? This is a photo of a group of recent graduates. And as you can see, they are a very diverse group. Queen Mary is in fact the most inclusive and diverse university within the Russell Group, which is a group of universities within the UK. And Queen Mary really prides itself on providing an environment where everyone feels welcome and supported. We have excellent support for students with learning disabilities or students who need mental health support. We really, Queen Mary it wants to feel like home. It wants to feel like home and a very supportive learning environment. Now, why London? Just to sort of tell you what this photo is looking at, this is maybe only a quarter of London that you're looking at. This is looking across Queen Mary campus toward Canary Wharf. So if the camera were to pan to the right, you would see the Shard, which is the tallest building in London, very famous building. You would see the Gherkin, which is so named because it looks like a pickle. You would keep panning, you would see Northwest London. Keep panning, you would see North London, and then all the way back again. This is just a small slice of how big London is. And London is super exciting and full of opportunities. Just to see what all is going on in London, all of the opportunities that you have to learn more about AI and network with people who are doing AI in their field right now, I urge you to try this experiment. Go to eventbrite.co.uk. You can search based on AI and you can enter London as the location. And you will find so many events. Some of them have a registration fee. Some of them have a very small registration fee. A lot of them are free, and they are happening every week in this city. And nowhere else in the UK can you find such exciting AI-related events on a regular basis. There's so much to explore in London. And with that, I will leave my email address on the page, and I'll open it up for questions.
Thank you so much, Tina. That's brilliant. We haven't had any questions come through yet, but I'm sure that's because people are oh no, we just have just now. What would you advise pre-reading or resources before joining the course?
Yes, so there is a very good book. It's actually listed in our FAQ on our program's website, but I will tell you the title of it. It is AI Snake Oil. And the subtitle is What Artificial Intelligence Can Do, What It Can't, and How to Tell the Difference. It's a really, really good book. AI Snake Oil.
Great. Maybe I'll try and find that in a second and pop it in the chat. Second question is, how early in the course can students explore ideas for their final project?
From the very first couple of weeks. That's a very good question. We want all students to start thinking about their final project as soon as they start. Now, that doesn't mean you have to decide on a final project as soon as you arrive. Some students may come to the program with an idea that they already have. Some students may have no idea what they want to do for a final project, and it may take them a few months to figure out what they want to pick. But yes, we encourage students to pick their final topic or pick the topic of their final project early on so that they can start working toward that.
Brilliant, thank you. And then there's more general questions around career prospects and what kind of career supports and networking opportunities are available for students at Queen Mary.
Yes, and I think this is actually best answered on our website because as I said, I just arrived at Queen Mary a few months ago. So I recommend that you go to the program website and look at the FAQs, and I'm pretty sure one of the items there talks about support for careers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to add to that. I'm just going to pop in the link to our Careers and Enterprise website. We have a really good Careers and Enterprise team who are dedicated to support all Queen Mary students, and they regularly send around job opportunities, networking opportunities, key events in the diary. Like on a weekly basis, you'll get events coming through. So it's up to you whether you want to register for those and attend those, but there's so much going on. There's also other opportunities to network with industry at key events as well. So there is a lot going on, but I will pop the link just in answer to your question here. Then we've got some questions in the chat. I was wondering what the main differences are between the standard masters in artificial intelligence and then the conversion program. Marco had previously applied for the standard AI masters, but was unsuccessful. Do you think this program would be more suitable?
Yes, so I would say the standard master's in artificial intelligence assumes some computer science or at least maths background. Because that program really builds on it builds into more complex concepts much more rapidly, and they don't begin with, say, the basics of Python. They assume more prior knowledge.
Brilliant, thank you. Linda has asked what a typical class schedule does look like. I'm just going to jump in very quickly and say that our timetabling, because of timetabling, we can't share what it would be prior to your enrolment. So these things don't get sorted until very much the enrolment. But maybe Tina, you can speak about how many classes and labs you would have a week, how many hours of teaching there would be.
That's a good question. So I would say because you'll be taking 4 modules or classes, we call them modules in the UK, because you'll be taking 4 modules in your first semester, I would expect to have 4 lectures per week and then corresponding labs to go with those. So it is a full schedule. It's definitely a full-time program.
Fab. Andrea has a bachelor's degree in marketing management and questions in regards to the tuition fee. Can you clarify for home and international students? So your tuition fee depends on your fee status, so whether you're an UK national or eligible for a home fee status. And if you are not a UK or home fee status national, you will be paying the international fees. Do contact our admissions team to check which one you are and clarify that with them, as it is dependent on an individual basis. Do we have any other start dates for the program, or is it just January only?
Right now, it's January only. But this is the first year that we're doing this program. So we are seeing, I'm guessing that we're probably going to continue making it a January start, just because that will be kind of the cycle. But there are other programs that begin in September. There are lots and lots of programs, master's programs that begin in September. So that would be September 2026.
Brilliant. Someone else has asked whether it would be possible to balance full-time employment and studies. I think the short answer is no.
I wouldn't advise it. Because you need to sleep as well.
Yeah, exactly.
This is really, it is a full-time program. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would try to work any more than maybe 10 hours a week if you're also doing this full-time program.
We have students who do ad hoc part-time work whilst they do the full-time masters, but as Tina says, this is a full-time program. You shouldn't try and do both, because unfortunately something will have to give, and it's important to be able to apply the amount of time that the program needs for you to be successful in it. William has asked, in the AI non-conversion program, there's an opportunity to apply Google DeepMind research student program, and I was wondering if okay, so the Google DeepMind research program is for undergraduate students, I think, William. So I think that's
only available in the non-conversion program.
Well, any other questions? I'll give people a minute.
We welcome questions about living in London as well, because I don't know how many of you are in London already, or if you're considering coming to London for a program, but we welcome questions about London generally.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give you a second. In the meantime, Tina, do you want to speak a little bit more about your background and how you ended up becoming a professor in AI ethics?
Oh gosh, I started teaching ethics to advertising students 20 years ago, and I liked teaching ethics so much that when when I sort of pivoted into teaching in a computer science department, I realized that my heart was still really in ethics, and because computer scientists and people making software generally definitely need to be ethical actors as much as possible. I proposed a course in the department that I was teaching in at the time, and they said, yes, this is important. And I started teaching ethics in computer science, and I never looked back because it's just such a vital, vital subject in the 21st century. Software and algorithms are so incredibly powerful in our lives that the people who are in charge of them need to be making the most socially responsible decisions possible to make sure that all this technology makes the world better and not worse.
Fantastic, thank you. Linda has asked, what's our expected cohort size for the January start?
We don't know yet because we're watching the numbers come in. We're expecting it could be anywhere from 15 to, I would say, 40 people. Does that sound right, Roz?
Yeah, I think maximum 40. I think we'd be looking around the 2025 mark.
Right.
It's a new program, it's January, so that's the sort of expected size that I would expect to see coming in. Cool. Oh, what graduate jobs will be available to us on completion of the course?
So I would say go back through if you saw my slide about going to your preferred jobs website, adding AI, machine learning, and Python to your skills profile and see what kind of jobs come up. That's the best way. That's the most accurate way I know to tell you like what positions will be available. Also, there are a lot of AI utilizing positions that are not really advertised formally because AI is so new. There are going to be jobs in another year that the industries haven't even named yet. That's how quickly AI is changing things. And one of the great reasons to come to London to study AI is that AI is it's on the tip of everyone's tongue. Everyone's talking about it in London. It's transforming so many fields, and there are all of these events that you can find on eventbrite.co.uk. So many events where you can go and listen to people talking about how AI is transforming healthcare, how it's transforming finance, how it's transforming the public sector, transit, all of this. And sometimes the best way to find the opportunities of the future is to just network with the people who are starting to use AI now. And a lot of the positions that you will be qualified for, say in a year's time, they're not even advertising them yet because they don't even know what they are. That's how quickly AI is changing things. I hope that was a good answer to the question.
Definitely, thank you. I'm not sure what this question is referring to, but may I ask when the course for the January 2026 will be added to SFE?
I don't know what SFE is.
Sorry, Iqbal, would you mind expanding on your question so that we can try and answer it properly? Another question has come in and said, what's your one piece of advice that we could do now to prepare for this course? I think you mentioned there was that reading, but is there anything else that we could do?
I would say read that book that I mentioned, AI Snake Oil, and subscribe to as many AI related newsletters as you can. MIT Technology Review has a really good one. So if you look up MIT Technology Review, I think their newsletter is called The Algorithm, but they have many, many newsletters. Also, Wired Magazine is a really good source. They have a weekly AI newsletter. Subscribe to as many of those as you can, and every week you will get headlines related to AI and the stories behind them delivered to your inbox. And once you start reading about it, and then just going to those sites and reading some previous stories on them, that's the best way to familiarize yourself with the current state of AI and get up to speed, so to speak, on developments in AI right now. Those are really good ways. Just start reading as much as you can about it.
Great, thank you. Iqbal has expanded and says Student Finance England. Iqbal, I will go away and contact our admissions team who would know more about that. And I will contact you. I should be able to contact you after regarding that question. Cool. I'm just going to double check that nothing else has come in. Okay, I'm going to put all the key dates and your key contacts back in the chat so that the links are really clear so that everyone can access them. If you do have any more questions at a later date, please contact us. If it's admissions related, if it's regarding finance, those kind of questions, please contact us at qml.ac.uk/contact. And then academic related questions, please do contact Tina. Tina's email is just in that chat just above Andrea, so you should be able to grab that from there. I think if there's no more questions coming through, I think we can end the webinar there. Thank you so much, Tina. This was brilliant, really, really helpful and insightful. I hope that you guys have got a lot out of it and can go away and make an informed decision on whether this program's right for you. And hopefully we'll see some of you in January, which is really exciting. So hope you all have a lovely day. If there's anything else you want to add, Tina.
No, just it's a big decision. I hope we've given you a lot to think about today, and please do reach out if Roz or I can answer any more questions. Thanks for your time, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.